Hey guys, what's going on? So I figured now would be a good time to do my first impressions of Battlefield Hardline. I've been playing for several hours now, so I've got a little bit of experience. But just bear in mind, this is by no means a final review. My opinion is definitely liable to change as time goes on and I experience the game a bit more, so just remember that and keep that in mind. So with that said, let's get started. So after the first couple of hours that I was playing, I was actually underwhelmed, really unimpressed with the game. There were just several things I just couldn't hack. Like, the time to kill is far too quick. It still is. It literally just feels like all the enemy has to do is breathe on you and you die, you know. There's like no reaction time at all, so like they spray you and it's possible to like down someone in one burst before they can even turn around or know they're being fired on. And I really don't like that, because it takes out the kind of skill element. Whoever shoots first kind of wins if they're good at recoil control, you know. So, and the damage models are really high on some guns, like the AKM. You can literally 3-shot someone, like it's insane. Anyway, spawns are fairly bad as well. I noticed this especially in team deathmatch. Like, I was playing team deathmatch on Riptide 64-man server, and I know you probably shouldn't play 64-man server, but it's fun. And literally, like, I mean, the amount of times that I would die from someone spawning behind me, or when I spawn, I'd spawn in sight of someone who would instantly kill me, or someone would spawn right in front of me or behind me. Like, it was insane, and that really needs looking at. Right, moving on then. Guns do have a fair bit of recoil. It's just something that I didn't really like because it takes some getting used to. One thing though that I did notice, the game is more demanding than Battlefield 4. I get less frames per second than Battlefield 4. I can still run it at Ultra, Battlefield Hardline at Ultra, and get above 60 FPS. But I get less FPS than I do in Battlefield 4, and that would be fine, but the game looks worse than Battlefield 3 did. And Battlefield 3 does look amazing, but Hardline does not look anything on even Battlefield 3 levels, let alone Battlefield 4. So graphically it looks worse, and yet it's more demanding, so I don't get how that works. So yeah, at least the multiplayer. The single player looks great, and the multiplayer looks good. I'm not saying it looks ugly, but it looks worse than Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, and yet it's more demanding than both of them, so I don't get that. So that's weird. Anyway, another thing, and the last thing that I really don't like, is 1250 kills to master a weapon. Like, that's to get it to be able to use it on the other tier. I think it's like 1000 kills to actually get the gold camo. But 1250 kills to do this, like, really? Because already weapons are faction specific, which I'm not a fan of, by the way. I know, I get why it fits in and everything, but I don't like the way you have to wait a whole round before you can use the weapon of your choice. But anyway, that's just how the game is, I guess. But the fact that 1250 kills is ridiculous, because you're only going to be able to use certain guns every other round, so it's going to take double as long as it would normally take. In Battlefield 4, I've mastered about 12 weapons, or maybe even more than that, but my most kills is the AK-5C, and I have 900 kills with that, so I don't even have 1000 kills with any weapon in Battlefield 4, and they're asking for 1250 per weapon. Like, it's ridiculous. Do they think we just sit around playing games all the time? Like, I mean, come on, ridiculous. Hopefully they reduce that, but I doubt they will. Alright, but they're my negative thoughts. Now we're going on to the more positive elements of the game. The game does grow on you after a while. Like I was saying, in the first few hours I was unimpressed, but as you get used to it, you kind of enjoy it a bit more. So I really like how the attachments have more significance in this game, and I've noticed that, you know, in other games like Battlefield 4 you attach like a muzzle brake and it increases your accuracy a little bit, and a stubby grip might help a tiny bit, but you don't notice the difference too much. At least I didn't. But immediately I noticed the difference when I threw on a stubby grip to my ACWR, for example. The accuracy increased like amazingly. Like, it was just insane. Not that the gun isn't accurate already, but it had a major difference. Same with stuff like the heavy barrel, much bigger noticeable differences, and I really like that because it makes you think more about what attachments to put on it, because they actually do make a more noticeable difference than before, which is great. The cache system is really good idea. Instead of having to like grind through shit that you don't even want, you now can just save up by playing the objective and earning points, and then buying what you want instead of having to unlock shit that you don't need. So very good system. I really like how they do it, and it also encourages you more to play the objective, because obviously you get more points for doing stuff like capturing objectives, capturing flags. Game modes are fun as well. I only played Blood Money Heist, Hotwire, Conquest and TDM. They do work really well, just spawns need a bit of working, and they're a bit of fun. They're really hectic, fast paced. I will say though, the games do tend to end pretty quickly sometimes, especially if you get an unbalanced team like in Blood Money or Hotwire. Then the game can be over in like 3 or 4, well maybe 5 minutes, you know, and before you even get started it's over and you're just like, here. So that's just something to keep in mind, but it is a very fast paced game, so that is to be understood, but some people mightn't like that. So overall, like, it's a great game. It just takes some getting used to. The fast pace isn't to everyone's taste. I'm still not liking the whole time to kill thing, because you can die way too fast. And with the ACWR, which is the gun I've been using the most, I pre-ordered it, so I got that with the standard edition. It's amazing. I'm not saying it's overpowered, because the M16 and the M416 are probably a bit better, but the accuracy of the gun is insane, and the versatility. I have like, I think it's like 195 kills with it, and in comparison, the M16A3 is my second most used gun, and I have 20 kills with it, so that says a lot, doesn't it? Anyway guys, I'll leave this first impressions here. I don't want to go too much in depth. We'll talk about other stuff in another video. But yeah, overall, I do like the game. It's different from what I expected. It's faster, it's more fast paced than I expected, but it is a lot of fun, and it does, once you get used to it and start to understand the mechanics and start to get better, it is a good game. So yeah, that's just my first impressions. Like I said at the start of the video, these are likely to change at some point in time, but I just want you guys to know that I do actually like the game. Thanks for watching.